So we're gonna make some jam. We went apple picking and now I have lots of apples. So we're gonna make some apple jam. And then I also ordered some ingredients to make apple muffins. Basically I have too many apples, so I have to make some of them. So let's start on the apple jam. Missing in the vector stuff, guys. Starting to put together this pattern. The crows and cherries. Look at this little guy. I don't know if I'm gonna include him, but he's cute. Putting together the assets so that I can make the pattern. Entering my discipline era. And what does that mean? So as an artist, I typically find discipline to be a little hard. And I find that in different aspects of my life. So not just with my art, but even with my fitness goals and my eating and my scheduling and just staying on track and all of that. To me, this discipline era is more than just about my art. It's about how I take care of myself, how I manage my time when it comes to my personal work and art time, and then how I show up for myself, my family, and my art. And that sounds like a lot, but we're gonna get there and we're gonna figure it out. And of course, as an artist and somebody who's currently creating content around art, the discipline also means showing up consistently for my craft and for content creation, for talking to you guys. And ultimately, when you're disciplined and you are consistent, that's where the growth happens. The reason I'm really honing in right now is because I've been noticing this lack of discipline in my life since a little bit before having my daughter. So I've always been pretty disciplined when it came to my full-time job and when it came to kind of that career growth. When it came to my own personal goals and fitness and health and art and all of that, I could be a little bit wishy-washy when it comes to my discipline. And when I say discipline, I really mean consistency. And I mean being really on target with a clear goal in mind so that I can be consistent and follow through with my day-to-day. And then therefore, if I'm more consistent with my day-to-day, it'll just make my life and goals in the long run easier to accomplish, achieve, or to even grow. The reason this matters so much to me right now is that because I now have a daughter, I find that my time is definitely more restricted on what I can do in my personal life and what I can do in my art and in my career. Because I like to spend a lot of time with her, not focused on work or even on art, that doesn't give me a lot of time in my day. I work a full-time job, so I have to fit in my art and my content creation around my full-time job. What that means is that I have less and less and less time to do all of the things that I want to do on a personal level. So I'm going to start with those smaller habits. Making sure that I am making time and making sure that I am writing out what I need to do, what my long-term goals are so that I can make shorter-term goals around those longer-term goals. And then what does that day-to-day look like? And being really specific about my time management, because I feel like time management can be my downfall. I am somebody who I can do it in the moment, but I also might just wait and do it tomorrow, And I don't think that that is going to work for me anymore. I really need to be on top of myself when it comes to this, because how am I going to grow if I can't even be consistent with the things that I love to do? So one of the main things that I think is really important is creating and showing up consistently and regularly instead of waiting for inspiration. That could mean sketching every day or even brainstorming or working on patterns or working on content. But there has to be some sort of consistency with each part of my life. Even if that means that I need to start meal prepping so that I have more time to do other things throughout the week, then that means that I have to start meal prepping. I feel like I need to be more consistent about when I'm uploading content and what that filming process looks like, instead of just filming whatever, whenever, however, and fitting it into a video. Or maybe it's just about knowing that I have to post a video. So in the beginning of the week, I can decide what that video will be about and then go from there. Who knows? I think we still have to figure that portion out. So I had an earlier video that talked about me using ClickUp and that how I felt like Notion was not a good place to be for me. But then I ended up watching Apple Cheeks, who is a creator on YouTube, and I loved the way that she had set up her Notion, so I just downloaded her free template, and I'm using Notion right now. You could still go back and still set up ClickUp the way that I originally had put a video up about, but you can also do Notion, so I could show you guys my Notion as well and show you how I'm currently scheduling my time. and currently scheduling my to-dos and everything. It's definitely not where it should be, but I think it's a good start so that I could see everything from a glance and really see what I want to commit to. The first thing that I want to commit to is doing some design challenges. So on Instagram, if you're not aware, there's a lot of creators that will do design challenges, and they'll buddy up with other creators and they'll all post about the challenge. And usually you can research the challenge by a hashtag that they create. And so when you use the hashtag on your artwork, you can go and see everybody's artwork that is usually about a specific topic. I have created a little space on my Notion that shows the art challenge that I want to participate in right now. And I'll also record my process of making those designs for the design challenges. I think I also need to start figuring out what my content pillars are. I follow somebody called Tess Barclay, and she has this little hub that's called Busy Blooming, and a lot of us will go in and post content to each other to get feedback or figure out how we can connect with our audience better or get our content pushed faster, easier, hack the algorithm, if you will. I think one of the main things that's hard for me is that I keep thinking that this discipline is going to come easily, or that one day I'm just going to wake up and be this super disciplined person that just always does art and always like knows what I'm doing and whatever. And the reality is that's just not the way it works. I mean, discipline is that you're showing up even in the moments that you don't want to show up, and realizing that it's mostly about the consistency and being very regular with both my art and my content creation. So I'm more so going to be reshaping my frame of thought around what discipline means and reframe it to be more about how it's going to help me be happier because I'm doing the things I love and I'm taking care of myself, which is a form of self-love. So when I'm putting all this love into myself, into my art, into my content, into my creation in general, then I feel like it's going to be a little bit easier to be disciplined because I'm going to be doing the things that fill me with joy. I just have to find the time to do the things that fill me with joy. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna set up a little bit more. I'm gonna show you my Notion and show you what that looks like so you can see what I mean from I could see everything at a glance sort of thing, and show you how I am using Apple Cheek's template. And then maybe we can plan some content. So this video is mostly about discipline and mostly about telling you guys how I'm in my discipline era, okay? We are here. We are gonna make it. We're gonna do it. I forgot to tell you guys, I am now on Spoonflower. I only have one design up, but if you wanna go show your girl some love, I'll link my design in the comments. It is my fall design from the last vlog. I had to order something so that the design could go live. I think you only have to do that once. I don't think you have to do that for every single design, but I could be wrong. So I ordered something. I'm still waiting for it to come in. So when that comes in, I will let you guys know and I'll show you what that looks like. I would love if you guys go ahead and follow me on Instagram as well. That's a really great place to be if you want to see my art and my patterns. And if you're also in your artist discipline era, comment below, like this video, share this video, and let's get disciplined together. Let's start making more art, guys. Like, this is so important. This is like what the world is, you know? Like, everything in the world is art. And so we should be making more art, you know? On that note, go birds. And I'll see you guys next time.